Hotelier on the Grill. Good afternoon, this is Hotelier on the Grill. I'm Stuart J. Raj, and today we're here with Mr. Sukamal Mondal. Now, Sukamal is the general manager and he's managing the properties of the Shama Sukhumvit Bangkok property and the Ekamai Gardens Bangkok. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, before getting into the interview, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Not too much, we'll get into that into the interview.
Well, first of all, I am really glad to be a part of the Hotelier on the Grill. Especially, I'm so fortunate to be with some of the famous GMs in Bangkok. Well, I'm Sukamal, as you all know, working in Bangkok for the last 4.5 years, taking care of two properties, Shama Sukhumvit Bangkok and Ekamai Garden, which is under Mosaic Collections.
So, these are just 12 standard questions for Hotelier on the Grill. The first answer that comes to mind is normally the best, so we'll just jump straight into them. Question number one, where did you first cut your teeth in the hotel industry?
Well, it's quite interesting being a fresher. I finished my hotel school in Calcutta, eastern part of India. And then straight from the hotel school, I got selected to work in Shanghai in one of the Indian restaurant chain under Jinjiang Group of Hotels.
What was the name of that restaurant?
Tandoor,
Okay.
where I stayed there actually for 4 years, and I ended up staying in Shanghai for 12 years.
Wow. So when you were there in Shanghai, when was your first really big break?
Well, I must say that I'm always fortunate enough to get quite a few good breaks. Definitely, Shanghai is my first break. From Shanghai, I got the other two breaks, which is my most remarkable break will be after the first working in Indian restaurant. I got selected for working for Marriott, Shanghai Hongqiao Marriott, where Mr. Bob Lorman, who was the GM there, he found something on me where he took me from being a waiter for 4 years to be the restaurant manager at Marriott Cafe there. So that's my turning point of my whole life, actually. That changed everything.
Wow, so there at
So
the
that's
Hong
where I
Xiao.
entered Marriott, yes.
Fantastic. So you've gone from waiter to manager.
The first time, I still remember my first briefing, I was exactly opposite side where I used to be there for 4 years. And I was the manager there doing the briefing. So it's quite remarkable.
So why you? Why were you able to make it to where you are now and then where perhaps other people haven't been able to make it? That's question number three.
Well, I always believe that we all should strive for excellence, and success will definitely follow. Because lots of times we always focus on success, but I always believe strive for excellence. So I always believe in passion for what I do, passion for people with whom I'm working, with my team members, guests, all the people around me, and definitely performance. I always believed and I've learned in times that performance is very important.
Right.
And I think if you have passion, if you have the right people, your performance is going to be outstanding.
So you were saying that you strive for excellence.
Yes.
You've been in many different places. For question number four, then, could you tell us of one of your darkest moments in your career?
Well, that's I do have, I must say, the first, when I was selected as a Marriott Cafe manager in 2004, after a few months, SARS
Oh, okay.
in Shanghai, and it was quite tough. It was quite tough for me being a new person in a new company. The whole city was quiet, but we worked pretty well with the whole team, and as a food and beverage, we did pretty well.
So question number five, then, how did you get through that?
Well, our sales and marketing team were very quite active in terms of promoting food and beverage. We focused on all the expats in Shanghai, and we did many events. We did lots of events there. And I mean, as in terms of revenue, food and beverage did very well. Although overall the rooms were not that fine,
Right.
but that was a very tough time.
So you had to focus on different areas of revenue.
Yes, I must add on one of the most, which I really want to share. The day I arrived here in Bangkok in March in 2010, that's where the protest started. That was the exact day protest started. So I arrived at 9 a.m. And in the airport, I was being picked up by my owner, and I must say that those 3 weeks was one of my toughest time, because I arrived here where people say Bangkok is one of the party place, amazing place, and then I ended up coming to a city where the whole city is,
At war. It was
yes,
a war zone.
well, that time it was a silent war, but after 2 weeks it was quite violent, and I ended up staying 3 weeks inside the hotel. At certain time, I was kind enough, but that my human resource decided to take me back to Hong Kong or Shanghai. But you know what? I decided to stay back.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've seen you with all your energy walking around the property and of all your staff here. Question number 6, what drives you?
Well, it should be again. I must say that although I'm one of the youngsters, but I still believe in old school thing, people. I don't want to talk about technology or anything. I still believe people and passion. That always drives me. If I'm with the right people, you know, looking around for passion in them, what they're doing, and looking at myself, that if I have the right passion for what I'm doing, I actually don't feel like that I'm working sometimes. I love meeting people. I love food and beverage. So sometimes I really don't feel that I'm working. Yes, it is hard work, sometimes long hours, but at the end, we all happy. And I think,
You love what you're doing.
yeah, I love what I do.
So question number 7, do you have a mentor, and if so, who and why?
I actually like this question because this is going to be a chance for me to say thanks to those people actually who has been a part of my life. I've got quite a few.
So feel free to mention their names too. We can have them up.
I've got a few, and they've been great, professionally and also personally. The first person I should say that it's my mom. She's been a great mentor. Being a teacher as her profession, actually it's not that easy to be her son, because I'm coming from a family where they're very strict, very disciplined. Well, I must say thanks for those two things. Where I'm today is because of strict and discipline. So I wanted to say thanks to my mom. There are a few other persons, of definitely Mr. Bob Lorman, the GM of Marriott, who turned my life from different perspective. Mr. Rajesh Prabhakar, the GM of Taj Hotels and Resorts. Jonathan Davis, Jackie Wong, Service Department Gurus. Rob Naso from Morgan Stanley, and Bhupesh Yadav, who was my ex-CEO from Service Department. I have learned Service Department things right from the scratch from them.
Wow.
They were not that easy person to deal with. They smile a lot, but I can tell you it's tough to work for them, because the only thing they know is bottom line. So it's very tough to work for them. But I must say thanks, because they have always trained me to be the right person in the right place. Yeah. So thanks to all of them.
Wow. So you have a whole slew of mentors there.
Yes, and last but not the least, Mr. Rob Reinders, Senior Vice President for Onyx Hospitality. I'm glad to be a part of his team. His tough management with his great sense of humor. I think that's what I enjoy. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So question number 8, could you tell us about an experience in your career that's really made you proud?
Well, I would like to add this as a part of my Bangkok, one of my experience from Bangkok. The flood. You know, we are a service department, and we are focusing on quite a lot of long stays and partly daily stays. So during the flood, the whole hotel was empty except our long stay guest. And we decided to join some of the corporate companies, and we had a great promotions and deals for all the peoples who were really affected. And as a company, as a support, as a corporate social responsibilities, we got so many Thai residents staying with us. We actually were full for those periods.
Wow.
And the reason I'm proud, I've got goosebumps actually. The reason I'm proud, because it's amazing to take care of those people at that time who were in need.
Right. They really needed it.
They really needed it. Their families were there. and then they ended up knowing each other, and we created many events. In fact, we did Loy Krathong in the swimming pool, and I still remember that they, being a Thai resident, they didn't miss it, and everybody joined those festivals.
That's right. The floods were around November.
Yes, and that time Loy Krathong was there in our swimming pool, in our rooftop swimming pool. So we not only me and my team, we were talking to each other, so how glad we are that we did for them, and they were so happy. So I must say that I was very proud.
So question number 9 then. What's the best advice that you could give to somebody who's really looking to be a successful GM?
I always believe success is not destination. It's always a journey. So to be a successful, there has to be a continuous it's an ongoing process. So, and people, motivate them. The ongoing motivation, people will bring you success.
So on the other side of it then, what's something that you see or people could risk doing wrong as a GM?
People could do wrong as a GM?
Yeah, what's something... let me just rephrase that. So question number 10, what's one thing that hotel GMs shouldn't get wrong?
Well, I was reading a book, Good to Great, by Jim Collins. Fantastic book, and I think I must share the favorite part. Actually, it says, one of the part, it says, people are the most important assets. And you know what? It tended to be a wrong concept. It's not the people who are the right important assets. It's actually the right people who are the most important assets. So we should not get wrong in this part. We should always hire the right people in the right seat. And I think things will go perfect.
Right. So that little change has an interesting implication. The right people, not just any people.
Not just any people. Yeah.
So question number 11. If you weren't in the hotel industry, what's your ideal alternate career?
Honestly, you'll be surprised. If I was not in a hotel, it'll be bad that I won't be giving an interview sitting here. But but if I was not in a hotel, I'll definitely be in fashion industry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I had a choice before I joined hotel school. But things didn't work out, few things, and I ended up in hotel school, which I'm very glad. But hotelier was not my dream. However, I'm so glad that I'm a hotelier. But if it's not hotelier, I'll be definitely a fashion designer.
So now you'll be one of the best dressed hoteliers.
Well, you know, I always think being in a hotel industry, people think it's hardworking. I still think it's a glamorous industry. No, we all dress well. We all walk, you know. We all doing our own catwalks in our own lobby. So it's a fashion, and it's love.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Sukamal. Now we have one last question, which isn't hotel related, but it still lets us get into who you are a little bit. What's one app that you find yourself using? Nowadays, everyone's got their phones and their iPads. What's one app that you find yourself using that you could recommend or mention to our audience?
Wow, there are actually quite a lot. Which one? My favorite should be Line. I like it. I use it personally, and I use it extensively in profession as well, because it's very easy to communicate with my teams. You know, you share pictures, you walk around the building, you know where exactly what's going on. You share with your team. Line, definitely. But there's one thing, one more apps I love it is Instagram. I do believe that I have a very good balance with my personal life and professional, and I like Instagram as one of my, you know, as I told you, I love fashion. So I use Instagram as one of my ways to show my interest.
And does this
with
have
my
any
friends.
effect on the marketing of the hotel as well, or it's
Well,
purely personal?
I do. My Instagram is quite simple. It's all about either about places or clothes or designs or anything natural. Or I personally go to gym a lot. I love working out, so it's about my gym life as well.
Okay, so people who want to follow on Instagram,
please. Well, but that's a private, so you have to send me a request.
there you go. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mr. Sukamal Mondal from the Shama Sukhumvit Bangkok and the Ekamai Gardens Bangkok. Thank you for being a guest on Hotelier on the Grill.
Thanks so much for having me here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hotelier on the Grill.